What is going on, y'all? C-Bell back again. And today, man, got my way too early NBA award predictions. And we're just gonna be hitting the big ones: MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Most Improved. Now, this is something I've kind of put a lot of thought into, but not too much thought. It's that nice little in between section. So let's get straight into it. And with MVP, I'm gonna start off with the MVP, of course. I have three guys for like all these seconds, by the way, and I think it's gonna be between these three guys: Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jalen Brunson. And I understand people are gonna be like, "Oh, what about Jokic? What about Giannis? What about Embiid?" I think the media has had their time, their fun with those guys. I think they're gonna be looking to move on, and I think these three guys who were all in top five like last season, I think one of them is gonna win it this year. I mean, last year Luka averaged 34, 10, and 9. Shea 36 and 5. Brunson was at 29 and 7 and like 3.5. And like they're all putting up amazing numbers. I think really what it's gonna come down to is what are the situations looking like. Like this past season, the main reason that Brunson had such a strong argument was because his entire team was hurt most of the year. So it was him. He was the most valuable player. Like he was carrying the Knicks into to what I think they finished a second seed. They finished a two seed, and that was with inconsistent players alongside him every single game. Like he played without Julius Randle most of the year. He played without Mitchell Robinson most of the year. He played without who else? Isaiah Hartenstein was hurt in stretches. OJ Anunoby was hurt most of the time whenever he got there. Like it's just hard, man. It's hard but that's what makes you an MVP type of guy. Your team falls apart, but you step up, and you're the reason the team's still winning. So if there's a situation like that next year with one of these guys, I see them as the MVP favorite. As is even more so if it happens to be Luka or Shea, just because they're a little bit better. This hurts me to say it. They're probably a little bit better than Jalen Brunson, and especially in the media, like Luka and Shea are guys that have been in that conversation for years now, like all over ESPN, FS1, Twitter, all of it. A lot of people thought either Luka or Shea should have won it this year. So a lot of times whenever that happens, they end up winning it next year. That's what happened with Embiid whenever he won it. A lot of people thought he should have won it the year before when Jokic won, and then he ended up winning it the next year. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but I'm saying if they feel you got snubbed, and the next year you still play at that type of level, more than likely you're gonna win. So that's kind of my thoughts on the MVP conversation. If I had to pick between those three, though, if I had to pick between those three, I think it's gonna be SGA, man. I think I think the Thunder are gonna be a problem next year. I think they're gonna be better than they were this past season, and because of that, I think SGA will win the MVP. Yeah, I'm sticking with that for right now. Sticking with that for right now. Moving on, y'all. Moving on to the Defensive Player of the Year. Three names for you. Three names, and I only think one of them matters. Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis. We can throw Jaren Jackson in there too. He has a chance. He has a chance. Um, Obviously I think Wemby's gonna win it. I'm pretty sure most people would agree with that. A lot of people thought he should have won this year as he led the league in blocks. He had like 250 something blocks this season, 3.5 blocks a game. 3.5 blocks a game is crazy, y'all. That is that is unreal. That is crazy. But people are tired of Rudy Gobert winning this award. I don't see him winning it this season. Maybe in a couple years, but not right now. But with Anthony Davis, I originally was not gonna put Anthony Davis on this list, but as the Olympics have been going on, or not in the Olympics, but like Team USA showcase games going into the Olympics. The way he's been playing, y'all. I know, they're playing against these overseas teams that aren't the same. It's not NBA basketball. But we know what Anthony Davis can do. He's been defensive player of the year caliber player for years. It comes down to two things with him. One, health. Two, consistency. We haven't had a season where Anthony Davis is both healthy and consistent. And if he can put those two things together, I think he has a great argument to win this award. But at the end of the day, y'all, it's going to Wemby. And I think he's going to deserve it entirely. But also, we know the league wants him. We know the league wants to push Victor Wembanyama as much as they can. And what better way to do that than a second-year player winning the Defensive Player of the Year award? I think it's going to happen. You can go ahead and pencil it in. Like, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. And now, Rookie of the Year. Once again, as I said, I have three names. I think one of them is going to be expected. The other two might not be as expected. But I'm going to lay out my arguments. First of all, Reed Sheppard. We know what Reed Sheppard is about to do. He is the best shooter from this draft class. He's a generational shooter coming into the draft. The guy was a rookie in college, shooting 50% from three on high volume. That's awesome. That's awesome. He's gonna be a great player in the NBA. And I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, he's too small. He's not too small, y'all. I know it's a summer league. I promise you, I'm not overreacting in the summer league. We have seen players play amazing in the summer league and do nothing in the league. We've seen guys like Trae Young have a terrible summer league, and everybody's talking on Twitter like, oh, Trae Young's gonna be a bust. I can't believe he's gonna be this bad. All blah blah. Guys, come on. It's summer league. Summer league, yes, it matters, but we're not basing a player's career or even this next season off of how they're playing in summer league. With that said, I am going to talk about summer league with these three guys a little bit. So, Reed Sheppard, amazing shooter. And even more than that, he has been showcasing high-level playmaking ability. He's been making passes and just handling the ball at a level that I was not expecting. And one of my good friends is a Kentucky fan, and even him, like, he knew he knew he was gonna be amazing, but like, there's still times where he's like doing stuff on the court, and he's like, wow, he was not doing that at Kentucky. So, I think Reed is gonna be great, and especially with the Rockets, I think he's in the perfect situation. He's not gonna be starting. That's going to hurt his argument. But I think the Rockets are a team that's going to be competing and get into the playoffs this next season. And he's going to get, I'm going to say he's probably going to get about 20, 25 minutes a game coming off the bench. And his role is perfect for for winning this award. He's going to come in and shoot threes. And when he's not coming in and shooting threes, he's going to be handling the rock and getting assists. And a lot of the times, if it was a stronger draft class, that might not do it. But I don't think anybody in this draft class is going to come in and put up like crazy numbers where you're like, yeah, they're the one. Like, that's the rookie of the year. I don't think it's going to happen. So that's why I think somebody with I don't want to say smaller role, but yeah, a smaller role, but is amazing in that role, has a good shot at winning rookie of the year this year. And now moving on to my second choice, Terrence Shannon Jr. with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I have been a huge fan of Terrence Shannon since he first got into college. Started off at Texas Tech, 3 years at Texas Tech, 2 years at Illinois. I think he's going to be great. I understand why he fell. He had the legal stuff going on. But the type of player he is. This guy has been league ready for years at this point. And you know what? He went to a team that is contending. The Timberwolves are contenders. and he's gonna be able to come in and be a straight up plug him straight in. He's coming off the bench. He's not gonna be starting. Once again, get buckets off the bench. And I know there's gonna be people talking about, okay, what about Rob Dillingham? He's gonna be doing that with the Timberwolves too. I think I think that Terrence Shannon is much more ready and currently he's more fit for the league right now because he has the size that Rob Dillingham doesn't, and that's going to allow him to be on the court more because Rob Dillingham is not uh big enough or like long enough to be able to guard a lot of the guards in the league at this point, and that's not the case with Terrence Shannon. Terrence Shannon he has an NBA body, he has an NBA bag, and he is a killer. That dude is insane with the ball in his hands. And I don't want to talk about him too much. I know I'm going on and on. I love him, but my third pick is Stephon Castle. This one's really simple. I think these other two would win it over him, but I was thinking about scenarios in my head, and with him on the Spurs, I I don't know if he's gonna be starting or not with them getting Chris Paul. I'm assuming he's gonna come off the bench because they're gonna have like Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Wemby. So I mean, that's already a lot of guys, and I don't think they're taking out Devin Vassell for Stephon Castle to start at the 2 spot. I'm not sure. Maybe they adjust, play like a 3 guard lineup. Maybe they could do that, and that would help his case. But what I see as a strong possibility is Chris Paul coming in, being the mentor that Chris Paul is. Stephon Castle is a perfect player to learn from him. And halfway through the year, people are going to be talking about some other guys for Rookie of the Year. Blah, blah, blah. Reed Sheppard, Terrence Shannon. Oh, 1 and 2 is a 2-man race. Chris Paul gets hurt. When's the last time Chris Paul stayed healthy? Couldn't tell you. So it's going to happen. Who's going to step up? Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle is going to step up and make it a 3-man race for Rookie of the Year. I think we know he's a great defender. We know Stephon Castle is a high level defender. He's a good playmaker. He's not a great scorer at this point, but he's getting better. I think he's a great ball handler. He's gonna be able to get to the rim whenever he wants. He's got to be able to finish. He's got to start knocking down jump shots, which will come as he's gonna be in the NBA. He's gonna have shooting coaches with the Spurs. It's gonna come. And he has a guy in Victor Wembanyama to throw the ball up to. Guys, that pick and roll, I'm sorry, the Spurs pick and roll next year is going to be crazy. They have 3 guards that can just toss it up there to them. They have Chris Paul, Trey Jones, and Stephon Castle. Like, all those guys are going to be looking for him coming off those pick and rolls, man. It's going to be crazy. Now, let's just talk about most improved real quick. Staying with the Spurs, y'all. Devin Vassell. I've been huge on Devin Vassell these past few years, ever since he's been in the league. I thought he had a chance to win most improved this past season. Like, he was one of my picks going into the year. But even more now. My reasoning was I've always thought Devin Vassell is such a high-level player. But my thought process was, okay, he's getting Victor Wembanyama. More eyes are going to be on the Spurs. Who are they going to see whenever they're watching Victor Wembanyama? They're going to see how good Devin Vassell is. People didn't know much about him before. You see him balling out, most improved player. And now, that's amplified with Chris Paul going there. And Stephon Castle. And Harrison Barnes. This team has expectations. People are talking about this team now. Devin Vassell is going to get more spotlight, more shine, and I think that could lead to him having a great chance at winning the most improved player. And these next 3 guys, I want to emphasize there will be I know for a fact there will be people that will improve more from last season to this season. But if you look back, like the last 13 years, the people that win most improved player are the year before they win it, they're like borderline all-stars. Like, think about Julius Randle, Tyrese Maxey. I was just looking at this the other day. I not remembering. Giannis won it 1 year. Like these are guys like they're borderline all stars. Next season they come in, they win most improved. It happens. It's a trend. So up next I have Cade Cunningham, another guy who, as long as he stays healthy, guys, he's gonna be great. I think he has a huge season coming up, especially with he has more veterans on the team, more guys that are competent NBA players. The young guys are going to be taking steps forward. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, they're going to be getting better. Marcus Sasser. So, with more talent around him, one, he's going to get a lot more assists. Because I know most people don't watch the Pistons, but he, over the last few years, has thrown amazing passes, giving people wide open looks, and they just can't hit shots. They can't hit shots. He's going to continue putting up about 23 to 25 points probably. He averaged 7.5 assists last year. I'm assuming that's going to get closer to 10, and he averaged 4 rebounds, which has potential to move up as he's like a 6'7" guard. Like the dude is big. So I think he has a great chance to win that. Up next, Alperen Sengun. In that same case where he was a borderline all-star, next season he's going to come back and he's going to continue to grow as he's only like 21 years old. Like I'm on Rockets Twitter. I'm like a big fan of this Rockets team, so I'm all over their Twitter and everything. And he's working out. He's putting in work this offseason. He's doing his thing. Last season he averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. I'm expecting those assist numbers to go up a little bit. And if you don't watch the Rockets, y'all, Alperen Sengun is legit. He's the same type of player as Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Jokic. Like those are the type of guys that he plays similar to. Like he is almost a focal point of that offense, which is hard at times because they have such dynamic guards in Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green. But Alperen Sengun is that caliber of player. He's an amazing young talent, and he has a great chance at winning this award, I think. Staying with the Rockets, Jalen Green. Look, I know all the problems with Jalen Green's game. He can be inefficient. He takes bad shots. I get it. I do. But if you watch the last 2 months of last season, Jalen Green showed what he can do. That man locked in. The last season, he averaged 20 points, 3.5 assists, and 5 rebounds. If he continues to be more efficient and find his role better and just stay in that, I think he was not a borderline all-star this past season. I think it's possible, I'm not saying it's going to happen, it's possible this upcoming season he's a borderline all-star and he jumps these other guys as like they already had like the borderline all-star, now they're coming out of it. I think he's going into the borderline all-star and he has a chance at showing how much he improved in like jumping that whole like part of the trend that I was talking about, and he just becomes most improved player. I think that is possible. And I don't want to talk any longer. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but if you guys watch this thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys very much, and as always, join the conversation. Peace.